Listen up, this is your wake-up call. You want an extraordinary life? You want to reach levels you've never even imagined? Then you need to stop making the mistakes that are holding you back. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, because every second you wait is a second wasted. First, if you don't take care of your health, nothing else matters. You can have all the success in the world, but if you wake up every day feeling exhausted, if you can't push your body to keep up with your dreams, you're already losing. Your energy is your fuel. Without it, you won't get far. And stop waiting for the perfect moment. There's no such thing. Too many people sit on their dreams, waiting for the stars to align. But guess what? The stars don't care about your plans. Success comes to those who take action, even when it's messy, even when it's uncomfortable. You don't need perfect conditions. You need to start. Fear, it's always going to be there, but fear isn't your enemy. It's your compass. It tells you what matters. If something scares you, it probably means it's worth doing. Let fear push you forward, not hold you back, because every great achievement was once terrifying to someone who dared to do it anyway. And who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you hanging around people who drain you, who complain, who settle? Or are you with those who push you, inspire you, challenge you? Your life is a direct reflection of the people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. No more blaming, no more excuses. The moment you start taking full responsibility for your life, everything changes. It's easy to point fingers. It's hard to look in the mirror and own up to your choices. But that's where power comes from. That's where change begins. And let's talk about money. You think money will make you happy? It won't, but purpose will. When you focus on delivering massive value, when you commit to something bigger than yourself, money follows. Chase the impact and the income will come. Stop settling for the wrong job, the wrong relationships, the wrong life. The only limits you have are the ones you accept. Raise your standards. Demand more from yourself, because the moment you decide to settle, you lock yourself into a life you don't even want. And the greatest investment you'll ever make, it's in yourself. Read the books, take the courses, learn the skills. The world rewards those who grow. If you're not leveling up, you're falling behind. Success isn't about luck. It's about preparation meeting opportunity. Let go of your past. I don't care what mistakes you've made, what failures haunt you. They do not define you. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. The only thing that matters is what you do next. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep making these mistakes, or are you going to wake up, take control, and create the life you were meant to live? The choice is yours. If you don't take care of your body, you are throwing away your potential before you even get started. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. If it breaks down, if it runs out of energy, if it's constantly in survival mode, how are you supposed to achieve anything? How are you supposed to wake up with fire, attack your goals, and push through challenges if you're exhausted, sluggish, and sick all the time? You can't, you won't. And yet so many people ignore this until it's too late. They grind themselves into the ground, chasing success, chasing money, chasing some future version of themselves. But what good is it if you don't have the strength, the energy, the vitality to enjoy it? Every high performer, every person who truly dominates in their field understands one thing. You don't treat your body like an afterthought. You don't push it aside and say, I'll deal with it later. Later never comes. If you're not prioritizing your health now, you're digging your own grave with every bad habit you reinforce. Skipping sleep, eating garbage, sitting all day, letting stress pile up. These things don't just drain you temporarily. They steal your future. They rob you of the energy you need to create the life you want. You might not feel it now, but one day when you're burned out, when your body starts failing you, you're going to wish you had listened. And I'm not talking about just physical health. Your mind is just as important. What are you feeding it? Are you filling it with negativity, scrolling endlessly through nonsense, drowning yourself in stress and wondering why you can't focus, why you're constantly anxious? Your body and mind are connected. If one is suffering, the other follows. If you wake up every morning feeling drained before the day even begins, that's a red flag. That's not normal. So it's your body screaming at you to make a change. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep running on empty, hoping your body somehow keeps up with your reckless choices, or are you going to take control? Because here's the truth. When you treat your body right, when you fuel it with the right foods, when you move, when you train it to be strong, when you prioritize sleep, when you feed your mind with powerful, uplifting, game-changing information, you become unstoppable. You wake up with energy, you dominate your day, you think clearly, you push harder, you recover faster. Suddenly, success isn't something you're chasing, it's something you're stepping into effortlessly. You get one body, one mind, one shot at this life. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're sabotaging everything else. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop ignoring what's right in front of you, because the person who has the energy, the clarity, and the strength to execute their vision, that's the person who wins. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when the time is right? How many dreams, goals, and ambitions have you put on hold because you're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan? Let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There never has been, and there never will be. The people who win in life are the ones who stop waiting and start doing. They understand that action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Meanwhile, the people who sit around waiting for everything to line up perfectly, they're still sitting, they're still waiting, and years from now, they'll still be wondering why nothing changed. Perfectionism is just fear in disguise. It's your mind tricking you into thinking that if you wait long enough, the fear will disappear, the doubts will fade, and you'll suddenly feel ready. But guess what? You'll never feel ready. And that's exactly why you have to start before you do. Every successful person you admire, every high achiever who made an impact, they all started when they were unprepared. They all took the first step without knowing every detail. They understood that clarity comes from action, not from sitting around thinking about it. You want to start a business? Start. You want to get in shape? Go. You want to change your life? Make the move. Stop telling yourself you need more time, more knowledge, more experience. The only way to get better is to do the thing you're afraid of. The only way to learn is by failing, adjusting, and growing in real time. Every day you delay is a day you don't get back. And let's be honest, most people aren't actually waiting for the perfect time. They're waiting for permission. They're waiting for someone to say, now is the time to go after your dreams. But no one is coming to save you. No one is going to give you a golden invitation to step into your potential. It's on you. You have to decide that now is the time. Not next week, not next year, now. You think the successful people you see today had it all figured out when they started? No, they started messy. They made mistakes. They felt fear just like you do, but they moved forward anyway. That's the difference. It's not about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to take the first step. And once you do, something powerful happens. You build momentum, you start seeing progress, and suddenly what once seemed impossible starts to feel inevitable. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep waiting, keep making excuses, keep convincing yourself that someday will be better? Or are you going to step up, take action, and make today the day everything changes? Because if you don't, one day you'll look back and realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you wanted was the fact that you never started. Fear is always going to be there. It's wired into you. It's your brain's way of keeping you safe, of making sure you don't take risks, don't step outside the lines, don't do anything that might make you uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Fear will whisper in your ear and tell you you're not good enough, not ready, not capable. Fear will convince you to play it safe, to stay where it's comfortable, to never push the limits of what you can become. And if you listen to it, if you let fear make your decisions for you, you will spend your entire life stuck, watching others live the life you were meant to have. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from going after something because of fear? How many opportunities have you let slip away because you were afraid of failing, afraid of looking stupid, afraid of what other people might think? Fear has stolen more dreams than failure ever will. Because failure isn't the end, it's just feedback, it's just a lesson. But fear will keep you from even trying. And that's the real tragedy. You have to make a decision. Is fear going to control you, or are you going to control it? Because fear isn't the enemy, it's actually the best indicator of where you need to go. If something scares you, it means it matters. It means there's growth on the other side. It means you're about to step into something bigger than yourself. The problem isn't fear itself. The problem is that most people run from it instead of using it. The most successful people in the world, they feel fear just like you do. The difference is they don't let it stop them. They use it as fuel. They recognize that if they're afraid to do something, that's exactly why they need to do it. And let's be real, what's the worst that could happen? You fail? So what? You learn, you adjust, you try again, you get rejected, who cares? You move on and find another way. But if you let fear win, if you let it keep you frozen, you don't just lose an opportunity, you lose time. And time is the one thing you don't get back. So stop waiting to feel fearless. That's never going to happen. Fear is part of the process. The goal isn't eliminate it. It's to take action in spite of it. You have to train yourself to push forward even when fear is screaming at you to stop. Because once you do that, once you prove to yourself that fear has no power over you, something incredible happens. You become unstoppable. You stop hesitating. You stop overthinking. You start living boldly, making moves, taking risks, and actually creating the life you were meant to live. The question isn't whether or not you feel fear. The question is, are you going to let it stop you, or are you going to step up and show fear that it has no place in your life? Look around at the people in your life. Who do you spend the most time with? Who do you listen to? Who do you allow to influence your thoughts, your actions, your energy? Because whether you realize it or not, your environment is shaping you every single day. You are becoming the sum of the people you surround yourself with. Their mindset, their habits, their beliefs, they're rubbing off on you. And if you're surrounded by people who complain, who settle, who make excuses, guess what? That's exactly what you're going to do too. Too many people let their relationships hold them back. They stay around negativity because it's comfortable. They keep toxic friendships because they don't want to be alone. They let small-minded people talk them out of big dreams because they're afraid to break away from the pack. And then they wonder why their life never changes, why they keep spinning their wheels, why they can't seem to break through to the next level. It's simple. You cannot live a high-performance life surrounded by low-energy people. If the people around you are draining your energy, if they're constantly bringing you down, if they're filling your head with doubt, it's time to make a change. And I get it. Sometimes these people are your friends, your family, the ones you've known forever. But just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they deserve a front row seat to your future. You have to protect your space, protect your energy. That doesn't mean you have to cut people off completely, but it does mean you need to be intentional about who gets your time and attention. And let's talk about influence. Who are you learning from? Who are you modeling? Because if you're constantly around people who think small, who play it safe, who never push themselves, then that's going to become your reality too. But when you start surrounding yourself with people who are driven, who are growing, who are striving for more, everything shifts. Suddenly, what once seemed impossible starts to feel normal. Your standards rise. Your mindset expands. You start thinking bigger, acting bolder, stepping into the person you were meant to be. The fastest way to change your life is to change who you're around. Get around people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you uncomfortable in the best way possible. Find those who are living at the level you want to reach and learn from them. Absorb their mindset, their discipline, their habits. Let their energy push you forward. Because the truth is, you can't afford to keep toxic people in your life. Not if you want to grow, not if you want to win, not if you're serious about creating something extraordinary. So ask yourself, are the people in your life pushing you forward or holding you back? Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Because the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about where your life is headed. No more excuses, no more blaming, no more pointing fingers at the past, at circumstances, at other people. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment everything changes. Because as long as you're blaming someone else, as long as you're waiting for something outside of you to fix things, you're giving away your power. You're saying, I'm not in control. And if you're not in control, how do you expect anything to change? People love to blame. It's easy. It's comfortable. It takes the pressure off. I didn't get the promotion because my boss doesn't like me. I can't start my business because the economy is bad. I'm not in shape because I don't have time to work out. But here's the truth. None of those things are stopping you. The only thing stopping you is you, your mindset, your decisions, your willingness to take ownership of your life instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. Because guess what? No one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you success, happiness, or the life you want. It's on you. The good news, that means you don't have to wait. You don't have to hope. You don't have to wish things were different. You can make them different right now. The second you decide to stop blaming and start taking responsibility, you put yourself in the driver's seat. And when you're in control, you can change direction, you can adjust, you can grow. It doesn't matter what's happened to you. It doesn't matter what cards you were dealt. Everyone has challenges. Everyone has obstacles. Some people use them as an excuse to stay stuck, and others use them as fuel to rise higher. The difference isn't the situation, it's the mindset. It's the choice. You can choose to let your past define you, or you can choose to rise above it. You can choose to complain, or you can choose to take action. And here's what happens when you take full responsibility. You gain power. You stop wasting energy on things you can't control and start focusing on what you can control. You stop waiting and start moving. You stop feeling stuck and start feeling unstoppable. Because when you realize that every outcome in your life is a result of your choices, you stop waiting for permission and start creating results. This is the turning point. This is the moment where you decide, are you going to keep making excuses, keep blaming, keep sitting on the sidelines of your own life, or are you going to step up, take ownership, and start playing full out? Because the second you do, everything changes. The second you do, you take your power back. And when you have that power, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you. You've got one of the most powerful tools in the world right inside your head. Your mind, your focus, your ability to take in information and use it to shape your future. But here's the problem. Most people don't use it. Most people waste it. They spend hours scrolling through nonsense, filling their brains with negativity, gossip, distractions, things that do nothing but pull them further from the life they say they want. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they lack confidence, why they can't seem to get ahead, is because they're feeding their mind garbage and expecting it to produce greatness. What you feed your mind determines what you believe, how you think, and ultimately what you do. If you're constantly consuming negativity, if you're surrounded by toxic influences, if all you hear is why things can't be done, you start believing it, you start living small, you start hesitating, and before you know it, your dreams start shrinking to match the limitations you've absorbed from the world around you. But here's the thing, just like you can program a computer, you can program your own mind. You can take control of what you allow in. You can be intentional about what you watch, what you listen to, who you spend time with. You can fill your mind with things that challenge you, inspire you, push you to be better. And when you do that, everything changes. Your perspective shifts, your standards rise, your actions start aligning with the future you actually want instead of the one you've been conditioned to accept. And don't tell yourself it doesn't matter. Don't tell yourself you can fill your mind with negativity all day and somehow stay positive, stay focused, stay driven. It doesn't work like that. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant, whatever you water, that's what grows. You put in garbage, you get garbage results. You put in powerful, uplifting, growth-focused ideas, you get a powerful, unstoppable life. It's that simple. And it's not just about avoiding the bad, it's about actively seeking out the best. Reading books that expand your thinking, listening to people who are already where you want to be, surrounding yourself with voices that remind you what's possible instead of what's impossible. If you want to be confident, fill your mind with confidence. If you want to be successful, study success. If you want to be fearless, stop feeding your mind fear. Because at the end of the day, your results are just a reflection of what you've been feeding your mind over and over again. So the question is, what are you allowing in? What are you consuming daily? Is it lifting you up or dragging you down? Because your mind is always listening, always learning, always adapting. And the most dangerous thing you can do is fill it with limitations. Choose wisely, because the thoughts you allow in today will shape the reality you live in tomorrow. Comfort is a trap. It feels good, it feels safe, it feels easy, but it's also the thing that kills dreams, destroys potential, and keeps people stuck in a life that's far smaller than what they're capable of living. The second you choose comfort over growth, you stop moving forward, you stop pushing yourself, you stop evolving, and before you know it, years have passed, and you're in the exact same place wondering why nothing changed. People think discomfort is something to avoid. They think struggle means something is wrong. But the truth is, discomfort is the only path to real growth. Every time you push yourself past what's easy, you expand. Every time you step into something that scares you, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to settle for what's comfortable, you unlock a new level of what's possible. Because nothing extraordinary comes from playing it safe. Look at the most successful people in the world, the best athletes, the top entrepreneurs, the people who have made the biggest impact. Do you think they got there by doing what was comfortable? Do you think they stayed in their safe little bubble, doing what was easy, avoiding pain, avoiding risk? No. They leaned into discomfort. They embraced the struggle. They understood that growth only happens when you stretch yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. But most people, they run from that. They stay in jobs they hate because it's familiar. They stay in relationships that don't fulfill them because change is scary. They let opportunities slip away because stepping up feels uncomfortable. And then they convince themselves that it's fine, that they don't really want more, that life is okay the way it is. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they were meant for more. They just weren't willing to go through the discomfort to get there. And that's the difference. The people who win are the ones who stop avoiding the hard stuff. They stop running from challenge and start running toward it. They understand that every time they feel uncomfortable, it means they're growing. It means they're getting better, stronger, sharper. They know that pain is temporary, but the rewards of pushing through it, those last forever. You've got to get addicted to growth. You've got to train yourself to lean into discomfort instead of away from it. When something feels hard, instead of backing down, you've got to ask yourself, what if this is exactly what I need? Because that moment where you want to quit, that's the moment you need to push harder. That's the moment that separates those who live an average life from those who create an extraordinary one. So ask yourself, are you choosing comfort or are you choosing growth? Because you can't have both. One will keep you safe but stuck. The other will challenge you but change you. And at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose opportunities and create new ones. But time, once it's gone forever. Yet so many people act like they have all the time in the world. They waste it on meaningless distractions, on things that don't serve them, on regrets from the past or worries about the future. And then one day they wake up and realize years have passed and they're still in the same place, still talking about what they could have done, what they should have done, what they wish they had done. You've got to stop treating time like it's unlimited, because it's not. Every single day, every single hour, every single minute is either moving you forward or holding you back. And the biggest mistake you can make is thinking you can afford to waste it. You can't. You don't have time to wait for the right moment. You don't have time to put things off until you feel ready. You don't have time to sit around hoping things will change on their own. The truth is, life doesn't slow down for you. It doesn't wait for you to be comfortable, to be confident, to have everything figured out. It just keeps moving. And if you don't take control of your time, if you don't start using it with intention, it will slip right through your fingers. You have to be ruthless with your time. You have to cut out the distractions, the meaningless obligations, the people and habits that drain your energy. You have to focus on what actually matters, on growth, on progress, on becoming the person you were meant to be. And don't fall into the trap of thinking tomorrow is when you'll start. Tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow is the excuse people use when they're too afraid to take action today. If something matters to you, if you know you were meant for more, you start now. Not when it's easy, not when it's convenient, now. Because the longer you wait, the more time you lose. And one day you're going to look back and realize that time was never the problem. You were. Fear is the one thing that stops more people from reaching their potential than anything else. It's not lack of talent. It's not lack of resources. It's not because they aren't capable. It's because they let fear make their decisions for them. They feel afraid, so they hesitate. They second guess themselves. They start creating stories in their head about why it won't work, why they're not ready, why they should wait. And before they know it, the opportunity is gone, the moment is past, and they're left with nothing but regret. Fear is always going to be there. It's never going away. But here's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. It's not that successful people don't feel fear. It's that they move forward despite it. They feel the fear, they acknowledge it, but they don't let it stop them. They understand that fear is just a signal. It's telling them they're stepping into something new, something bigger, something that matters. And instead of running from it, they use it as fuel. Because fear only has power over you if you let it. The moment you act in spite of it, The moment you prove to yourself that you can do the thing you were afraid of, the fear shrinks. And every time you push through it, every time you step up instead of stepping back, you build confidence, you build resilience, you build a kind of unstoppable mindset that allows you to create the life you want instead of settling for the one fear convinces you to accept. Most people let fear control their life. They let it dictate what they try, who they become, how far they go. But you don't have to be most people. You can choose differently. You can decide that fear isn't a stop sign, it's a green light. It's proof that you're pushing yourself, that you're growing, that you're stepping into something bigger than where you've been. And if you can learn to move forward, even when you're afraid, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can hold you back.